Waking up on a bathroom floor with a bruised knee and a dent on your forehead with no idea how you got there is no joke. This happened to me. Last year, my body started acting up with weird symptoms like blacking out, getting hot and cold flashes, and my blood pressure would drop so much I could barely stay awake. Pretty contradictory, because I couldn't sleep at night wondering, what would happen next? No one, not even the doctors, could tell me what was going on. My OBGYN told me it was an unhealthy diet or a tumor near my brain, and my pediatrician suggested it might be a cardiac issue or a neurological misfire. Imagine hearing that at 15. I was terrified. In this confusion and fear, I did what people my age do best. Take to the internet, of course. I based my search on the first opinion I received: an unhealthy diet. I fell into a rabbit hole of medical articles and reports. Who knew food could play such an important role in our lives, yet hold so many secrets? Anyways, out of my months of research, here is what I found. First up, I went for the source. Where do we get our food? Supermarkets. Their strategy could be called many things, but I like to call it rat caging, since they're structurally and sensorially designed to keep you inside for a longer time. For example, the use of a single entry and exit door forces you to go through different aisles more than once. Or the fact that fresh produce and bakery sections are usually placed near entries to lure customers in. How about avoiding windows so you completely lose track of time? From music to maze-like layouts, every detail is designed to keep us shopping longer. After all, profit is the goal. Trust me, we've all felt like we only had to get 1 or 2 groceries, but somehow left with 10 different things. And our shopping cart feels empty, no matter how much we put in it, right? Here's why. The bigger the cart, the more items you need to fill it. If you thought that was crazy, this next one will make your jaw drop. Do you believe in luck? Or are you superstitious? Well, supermarkets even take that into account. Entrepreneur and investor Simon Squibb says this takes place in China. For those of you who don't know, the number 4 is believed to be bad luck in China. Chinese supermarkets take advantage of this wild theory and relate cheaper products' prices to that same number. So customers will avoid the bad luck price and go for the expensive alternative instead. Shocking, isn't it? All of these psychological tricks are just thin tiers in the layer cake of manipulative marketing strategies. It all goes deeper, much deeper. As important as a role that supermarkets may play in the creation of an unhealthy diet, the true villains are junk brands themselves. Being exposed to junk food advertising can convey misleading information, yet big firms aren't afraid of being deceitful, as long as there is a grain of truth to what they're saying. A common approach they use is through the fine print strategy, in which they include all of the unhealthy ingredients on their packaging in the tiniest font they can find, so customers don't even glance at it, missing out on the essential details that they should be aware about before consumption. I would like you to raise your hand if you regularly read nutrition labels. And by regularly, I mean every time you pick up a packaged product, you read exactly what's in it. Exactly. Only a few of you. Another way that these brands mislead is by saying half of the truth. Close your eyes and picture this. You're in the supermarket, pushing your shopping cart, walking through the aisles, and you reach out for a bag of spicy tortilla chips, because they're supposedly made with natural ingredients. Yes, the corn and frying oil they used are sourced naturally, but the red 40 and maltodextrin are far from that. See the trick? Just because some chips contain whole grains doesn't mean it won't give you a heart attack when consumed in excess. Although we all like chips, drinks, and cereals, the target market is usually children. Let them try these once, and they'll get hooked. Sugar-packed children's cereal brands like using bright colors and cartoons that are often looking down and having eye contact with children, creating an imaginary bond. But don't think that just because you don't take your kids grocery shopping with you, that you'll be able to avoid these brands easily. TV and phone screens broadcast convincing ads regularly that portray healthy kids eating junk excessively. This manipulates parents into believing it's okay to feed their children these snacks and that they'll stay healthy when consuming them. They won't. Media and propaganda are century-old strategies used to trap the masses. Don't fall for it. US food and beverage companies spend a whopping average of $14 billion yearly to promote their products on social media. A common approach they use to skyrocket their sales is through celebrity or influencer partnerships, which you might know as collabs. These collaborators don't even consume the products they promote because they're aware of how damaging they are. Crazy, isn't it? Don't feed into your feed. According to UConn Senior Research Advisor, Dr. Jennifer L. Harris and JD Samantha Graff, the commercial speech doctrine thinks that customers pay attention to every single detail in food advertising so that they can make informed purchases. Given that this information isn't fake or untruthful, access to it should contribute positively to the free market. Sadly, these assumptions aren't near the truth. It is unethical to expose unknowing customers to manipulative and misleading junk food advertising. Being exposed to ads such as the ones I've mentioned can consequentially put lives at risk, physically and mentally. After realizing how desperate junk food brands were to sell their products, I decided to question the effects of consuming them. Eating junk food can easily become a habit. Many say old habits die hard. But as hard as this habit is to kill, it may kill you first. The earlier this habit is taught, the harder it is to quit later in life. When we eat junk food, our body knows it tastes good, and therefore feels good. So it releases natural opioids and the happy chemical, dopamine. These two set off highs in our brain that make us want to do it again and again. Food manufacturers have perfected their recipes to make this cycle inescapable. That's their goal, but it's also our problem. Anything that enters your body will create a reaction within it. One of these reactions is obesity. Obesity is considered a disease which is directly linked to overly processed junk foods that contain added sugars and/or saturated fats. It's primarily caused by an energetic imbalance, where more calories are consumed than spent, leading to excess fat storage. But not only that, obesity is also directly linked to a multitude of life-threatening conditions, such as cancer, stroke, and cardiovascular disease. So no, a full belly doesn't always give us a happy heart. The obesity epidemic is increasing rapidly, and especially in children. In the United States, 1 in every 3 children are obese. Yet, food companies continue to promote products that contribute to these rates. Not only does obesity negatively impact your body, it deteriorates your brain by causing insomnia, brain fog, anxiety, and depression. By now, We can all agree that these diets are an absolute detriment to health. And when health deteriorates, people need a cure. This obviously benefits the medical and pharmaceutical industries. There is a strong link set between the medical and pharma industries along with food and beverage industries. Food industries cause a problem, and pharma industries take advantage. Billion-dollar health corporations are willing to jeopardize human health in order to expand their monopolies. And I'm not talking about the board game. One specific type of medication, which has reached the hands of many obese patients, benefits directly from the harms of junk foods and drinks. Semaglutide, which you might know from its rising popularity, was first approved for use in 2017 for type 2 diabetes, but made a complete breakthrough in late 2022 when it became the new weight loss sensation among stars and celebrities. But how does this magic drug work? Semaglutide makes you feel full, therefore you stop eating and lose weight, but its side effects go much deeper. It causes vomiting, muscle loss, anorexia, and even malnutrition. Although semaglutide may seem like the easy way out of obesity, in reality, it's no escape. After the first few doses, people may start to see the results, of course, but the second they stop using it, all of the weight comes back as fast as it left. Money matters, not well-being, and semaglutide brands aren't afraid to show it. The medication generated a sales revenue of $8.5 billion in 2022. And that number skyrocketed to $28.4 billion in 2023, only a year later. Those are some big bucks. And it's all coming from your pockets. This just proves that we, the public, are dollar signs to corporate eyes. As always, to every problem, there is a solution. Thankfully, there are a few ways that people are trying to solve this seemingly never-ending issue. The World Health Organization has tried to find new solutions by asking governments worldwide to apply restrictions on their food market. An example of a success story is Mexico's government passing a law which bans junk food and candy from being sold in public schools, and a requirement for all food packaging to include eye-catching warnings which state the risks of consumption. The US government is also providing a new approach through their Make America Healthy Again movement, which is reimagining school meals, placing restrictions on unhealthy beverages, and even banning artificial dyes, according to Politics reporter Jesus Mesa. The EU is also finding new strategies on nutrition and their action plan on childhood obesity. Semaglutide is even on a leash, with many pharmacies selling it on a prescription-only basis. It may take some time and effort, but creating awareness and pushing back the obesity crisis is possible. Together, we can make a change. Remember where we started? I was passed out, scared and confused. Back then, my whole world had turned upside down. Thankfully, this investigation served as my spatula to flip it back onto its feet. You're all probably waiting for the big reveal, though. What even happened to me? Well, funny enough, it wasn't any of the causes I'd mentioned. It wasn't a cardiac issue, a neurological misfire, or a tumor near my brain. It wasn't even an unhealthy diet. It was a wisdom tooth infection. Like, what? Well, everything happens for a reason. The infection is now gone, but the wisdom I gained will stay. And I want to pass it on to you. The world of nutrition is a truly complex one, but you are the chef of your life. Serve your health on a silver platter, not in a plastic bag. Although some pharmacies, junk brands, and supermarkets can be against us, we can fight back. Next time you reach out for a bag of chips, think twice before you grab them. I know it may seem hard to maintain a healthy diet, but think about it this way. What's going to be more expensive in the long run? Groceries or hospital bills? Thank you.